This is a special episode. It's an episode of a first. First episode, not wearing pants. That's right. I am clothed down there. I'm wearing shorts, but not pants. So, you know, a loin cloth, loin covering. I don't actually know what a loin is. A loin is your groin area, right? Why is it not called a groin cloth then? Or groin cloth? That's I feel like that's a good question. You know, teachers say, or like adults say, no stupid questions, and then they immediately disprove what they just said. Because you're confident. You raise the phalanges, the open fist, and you say, hey, G's got a Q, and then they call on you, and then you quickly realize, oh, what they had just said earlier, about the no stupid questions, is fully false. That was some bullshit. They lied because you asked your question, your cue, and their response makes you feel inadequate, makes you feel small, you know? Can you explain number 5 on the worksheet? Oh, number 5. Okay, I thought that was going to be one of the easier ones, but sure, yeah, we can go through it. And then immediately, you're flooded with guilt of how, what? They've made 7 billion contemporary humans right now, concurrent humans. How am I one of the stupider ones, It's a terrible feeling. It goes through your whole body. It's like smallpox. I don't know what smallpox does. Smallpox is how we got Thanksgiving, so it can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad, It's given me the reason to eat the most boring meat once a year. It's like, I really give it credit. People shit on turkey because it's like bland meat. And I think they're justified. But also, I feel like turkey probably gets overhated, but it should still be hated. I just think it gets it too much, Like when someone's being stupid and everyone's like, giving them shit for it, and you're like, hey, come on, guys, lay off. And then the person's like, yeah, see, lay off. Listen to Garb. And I'm like, well, no, don't. You still deserve some of it. Just, they're doing too much, So, turkey, I'm looking out for you, but know that I'm still gonna get a lick or two in. Lick R. I said lick or too fast, and then it sounded like liquor. So yeah, I mean, it's the first episode in shorts. It's getting hotter in the world. That's what happens when I grow this hair out, Thank you. And as a consequence, I have now had to reduce my clothing. I'm still wearing a long sleeve shirt. It's rolled up, sure, but, long sleeve nonetheless. I could have gotten away with a short sleeve. Honestly, it would have been probably better. Probably some circulation issues going on around the weenus area. But, it's a personal choice. When you're as stylish as me, you'll understand it. I don't expect you right now. I'm on that higher level, It takes years of dedication, hard work to really get there. But I don't know if you've been able to tell so far, but I mean, it's been an eventful week, right? I mean, you don't know that. You don't know what happens in my life, but I'm telling you, it's been an eventful week. But as you can probably tell by the way the first 4 minutes of this has gone, I don't actually really have anything to talk about this week. I mean, I have one thing, but usually I refer to my phone and I'm like, oh, these are some things I wrote down, and I got this list, and then I punch through them or try to get through them, hurdle over them like the track star I am. But this week I legitimately didn't write anything down. I just like I said, it was eventful, but there was nothing that I could report on. Not that this is like a report. Which, by the way, I just want to say, doing current events in elementary and middle school was so cool. Like, fucking hated doing it, right? No, in the time of doing them, sucked. But like now I think about it and I was like, oh, it'd be cool to just do a current event. Like just take an article and learn a bunch about one thing. Like I remember I learned about some experiments they were doing on lab rats or mice. And then I just knew this really weird niche information. And I thought that was fascinating. And I realized, oh, there's no real way that you can do that as you get older, right? Unless you just do it. That's stupid of me to say. There's no way you can do it anymore unless you do it. Yeah, that's anything, Garv. But there's no reason that you would need to do that. Like you did it for school. But when you get older, you don't have to give a fuck about what they're doing to lab rats and mice. And that's why we let them abuse them because because adults make the rules and adults don't give a fuck about animals. So that's why humans can still abuse animals for experimentation processes. Oh boy. So yeah, I just think, I started thinking about it because I was like, oh, a current event would be cool to do for like a video. Like, oh, we used to do current events. Well, I decided let's keep doing current events. And then I look up some weird shit about, oh, how's the wheat industry doing? Or, quite literally finding out how sausages are made and then reporting on it. Because, we all say we know how they're made. You crush up certain things and you put it in. What do they do? They put it in like a balloon and they tie it, right? But the balloon's made of intestines. So, it'd be cool to just report on some random thing. That's the cool thing about having people that watch you on the internet. You can just do random shit and it'll pay off, You'll get to, people will actually listen to it. You won't just like scream into a void. So that's great. That's awesome. But, I guess I lied. I said I don't have anything to talk about this week, but I do have the one thing. As you saw, if you, I don't know how much, don't know how much of the podcast audience knows this, but I have a YouTube channel. Not this one, like a different one. It's my name, Gauruv Virk, and that one, I refer to it as my main channel. You got to check it out sometime if you haven't. But that one, I posted a video. I guess at the time I'm recording this, I posted that video yesterday. If I do the math, I probably posted it. 7 plus 24 is 31. I posted it 31 hours ago. And it's doing well. It was the movie trailer for UC Davis. And you know how last week I talked about I'm going to make these videos these next couple weeks, and I talked about people are going to try to define the meaning of it, and I hope they don't because that's going to, nullify some of the meaning or something. So I had said, oh, I'm going to post a video on Friday, and then the following week I will post like a video or two. This movie trailer one I posted it's not that. That I didn't even know I was going to make that video last week. In my last episode of my podcast, I didn't know I was going to make that most recent video. So the 3 videos I was referencing before, those are the next 3 coming. And they actually kind of play a part into why I made the movie trailer video. Let me tell you what happened this week. Like I said, it was an eventful week, but I don't know, like I can't give you too many details, right? But because I don't like talking about my personal life. See, it's funny, I run into people with my car and then I have to like apologize. But I come across people, in life, and they ask about my YouTube channel and stuff. People I know. It's not just random people I'm walking across on the street and they're like, hey, you do YouTube, don't you? And I'm like, we've never met. No, it's people that either recognize me or like I'm friends with, acquaintances. They'll ask sometimes like about the whole YouTube thing, and it'll come up sometimes where I'm like, yeah, I don't really like to talk about like myself or like my personal life things. And it sounds so stupid when you say it out loud because it's you putting like yourself online. It's like it's a tough. You immediately have to make a self-deprecating joke because to show that you're at least a little bit self-aware. You have to be like, yeah, I don't. I remember these two guys. These two guys I was gonna work with like I think now what was it, a year and a half ago or something. These two guys I was gonna work with. They were trying to get into the psyche or like into the mindset behind YouTube, and they had asked me very bluntly, and they prefaced the question um, with a disclaimer that yes, this is quite a blunt question, but they were like, you know, no offense, and the old joke, like anytime someone says no offense, like get ready to be offended. But they're like, no offense, like don't take this the wrong way, but like we're genuinely curious. Do you enjoy being the center of attention? And I was like, no, I don't. Like I never try to be the center of attention, but if I'm ever called upon to be the center of attention, I do enjoy it. You know? It's like I will never try to grab the reins, but if someone hands them over, I feel very comfortable in that position. Does that make sense? And then, of course, I had to follow it up with the self deprecating joke, like I had said. I was like, I never try to be the center of attention, but if it falls my way, I'm down. And they're like, really, you never try to, you don't like, or like, you never try to be. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Says the guy with the YouTube channel with 100 plus videos on it. I get it. I get it. And they laugh because they're like, he gets what he is. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a walking contradiction. Thank you very much. And so I don't really like to put my personal, like super personal life on the internet. I remember I did this Q&A over a year ago. I think, we're about a year and a half out from that one because I had made it, I think the summer before my junior year. So I think, we're coming up on 2-year anniversary. It's this video. I don't know if you watched it, but in that video, I think it was Ben. Ben had asked me maybe that, how do you feel at the time I was doing my Wilt series? He's like, how do you feel that so many people know so much about your personal life due to the Wilt series? And I talked about it in that video. I was like, people don't really know that much about my life from what I put on the internet. Like the Wilt series, I I just take an observation I made that day, that weekday, and then I try to make a joke about it. And that was it. And so you do get to see me every weekday of my first 2 years of college, but excluding the last quarter if you want to get into technicalities. But there's really nothing personal. Like I don't talk about like how tests went, how I do homework, how I go to office hours, stuff like that. And so yeah, there's this weird thing where maybe would you call it a misconception? I think it's a misconception where people think I want to put my life like out there and I like being center of attention just because I have a YouTube channel. When in reality, I'm very okay being in the background and I just want to make jokes. I don't care about attention. I just want to make jokes and it's more fun when there are people that listen to them. So that's why, if you want attention and you want to tell jokes, in both cases you have it's better it's a better experience if you have an audience. So that's why, sometimes the wires get twisted and people think you're one way when you're the other. But I don't want to go into specifics of my week, but I said it was an eventful week. And on Wednesday, I had met with a bunch of people. We were being safe and everything. Um, and also fully vaccinated. Uh, See, that's the other thing. I haven't put it out there or anything, but like I'm fully vaccinated. Um, but met with all these people on Wednesday, and these are I talked about it on my last episode. I haven't talked to real life people, like people in real life, in so long that I forgot basically, I guess, what humans were like, right? Like what that whole experience is like. And the angle I took last week was that means I'm just talking to myself. And the other thing I found from this Wednesday was I I haven't found a way to articulate it, but maybe you can help me out. I'll work through it right now. I found that I was just an angry person. Like when I was talking to all these people, I realized, oh my God, all these people are just happy. I mean, I don't know how they're dealing with stuff internally, but they're just outwardly just nice people and just approach life with a brightness, you know? And I had found when observing this, I realized how far on the other side of the spectrum I was. Because I realized I look at everything and immediately think of the worst about it. And I was like, God, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, there are these people in life, that they're just, there's so much good energy in the world. Why am I doing nothing but producing this bad energy? And it's because I think, I lacked perspective. I haven't talked to human beings in so long that I just came up with this. What is it? What's that word? It's like, it sounds like anonymous, right? What is it? Oh, I created like this weird animosity with the world. I was just beefing with the world. I was like, the world sucks, internally. And it was when I met with just these nice, happy people that I realized, oh my God, the world isn't bad. Like, the world is great. I mean, it can be terrible, but it can be, that's what these people showed me, amazing too. You can genuinely have people that just care about things in you, and that's real. And my next videos, that I talked about, I'm afraid what people will think of the meaning of them. I made them, I think, more from that dark place, the place of thinking, oh, the world sucks. And so when I had met these people and gained this perspective, perspective is so amazing. Perspective is something at any point in your life, you can get. You can never have too much of it. There's so many different perspectives in the world that you can go throughout your entire life and never run out of new ones to get. It's great. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And I hope in most cases, when used correctly, I think perspective is a good thing. I think it can only make you better. When used correctly, I think you could use perspective as a weapon. You could see oppression or something and then seek revenge or, something like that. And then maybe perspective, is used in a more nefarious manner. But I think, for the most part, perspective is amazing. It's great. It's you, and you can, like I said, you get it through your whole life. It's not like those fucking, senior discounts at Great Clips and certain restaurants, where you got to be 65 and up to get like $3 off. You get this discount called perspective at any age. You don't got to be a certain age. And so it was this perspective that, this experience on Wednesday gave me that made me realize, like, man, I got to make something cool. Like, I got to make something that's just good. And so I kept thinking about, like, let's just make something that's good. And that is just a net, just green positive in the world. Just like I said, that is just good energy. And so I drove back from, meeting with these people, and I was listening to music as one does. And I'd gotten my apartment, and usually, I like to sit in my car till the song finishes. And usually I time it nice, I get it right at 1 second, but it started playing the next song. So it started playing the next song, and the song was Gangsta's Paradise. And I was like, oh, I love Gangsta's Paradise. And I was like, oh, you know what? Gangsta's Paradise has a nice remix that they used for Need for Speed, I think. I've listened to this song so many times. Um, and it's on YouTube if you want to search. The thumbnail's like this, I think, blue and green car like drifting. I've listened to that song, that remix, probably hundreds of times. And so I was like, oh, wait, I could do something with this. I could make like a Davis thing and implement the Gangster's Paradise remix. And so I started doing research on Wednesday, and I was like, oh, what are some other like movie trailers that have used like cool songs like Mr. Blue Sky, the Immigrant Song, Thor Ragnarok used that one. That's one of my favorites. And I didn't really find anything, but I decided, okay, let's do Gangsta's Paradise. And so I was going to use that Need for Speed version, the first, I think, minute and 12 seconds was what it was. But, through looking at movie trailers, I came across this movie called Valerian. I think it's Valerian and the city, or no, Valerian and the Planet of a Thousand Cities, I think is what it's called. Or the City of a Thousand Planets? I don't know. Some shit like that. And so I watched this one, and they used a version of Gangsta's Paradise, like the 2WEI version, two-way. I don't know what it's called. And I was like, oh, I love this. And so I looked up that Gangsta's Paradise song they used. I downloaded it, and then I watched that trailer tens of times and just started replicating it and researching stuff about, going back in the archive, and just taking old videos that I remember. Got to give huge props to Alex Fisher Wagner, who co-runs Craving to Create on all social medias, Craving to Create. Him and his girlfriend, Catherine, Alex Fisher Wagner and Catherine, run this account, like, on all social medias. And I have been watching Alex. You guys probably know Alex, maybe. I've been watching, Alex's videos for the past 4 years. So I remember where all of this content was. And so what I did was I went back, searched through the videos, went through his thumbnails, and tried to remember, oh yeah, this video had this piece that I think would be good. This video had this piece. And I just started downloading all the videos I thought I could use. And my friend Abrion, who's an old Davis student, this is her channel now. She had this as her main channel, but she started like the new one up top. And she had made a skit called like The Last Book. It's like a YouTube video she made, and Alex had also done that. It was like this challenge they entered, this Last Book challenge. It was like a little short film you had to make on your phone camera. And I remember they made these videos. I was like, oh, this is perfect for this movie trailer I'm making. And then I was looking at Davis's channel. I was like, well, what does Davis have? Davis probably has content about their school, right? That makes sense. And so I went on Davis' YouTube channel, and that's where I was given even more perspective. Because Davis's YouTube channel doesn't have shit. It doesn't have anything on it. The couple of clips I used from it was from this like drone flyover video that got posted like I think a month ago. So it's very new. And then I think it was this time last year they made this video. Chancellor Gary May did like an intro for the Aggie Experience Live. So those were, I think, the only two videos I used from Davis. But all the other clips you see in that video are pretty much from Alex and Catherine, Craving to Create. Two clips are from Abrion, and then I found like this like B-roll of nature from some videographer that like took drone footage of Ireland, I think. So through those four sources, I had taken clips. Oh, and then my own channel. And then I looked back at some of my old videos. Like my Christmas video this past year, I used some clips from that. And so through these 5 sources, I made this trailer because I was like, I don't, I just need to make something that has good energy. And it was stressing me out that I had become so, for lack of a better term, but like evil in my head that over, I got all the videos ready Thursday, and then Friday, and then like the half of Saturday, I just put it together. So it took like 2 days. Um, and I made it. And I didn't know I was gonna make it last week, but because of my experience on Wednesday and I gained perspective, I was like, all that stress basically was channeled into making this UC Davis the trailer. So that's where that came from. That's why it happened. Because my Spotify had put Gangster's Paradise next, and I realized, oh, I've turned into a pretty bad person over the past 4 months. And so I made that movie trailer. But the thing I talked about earlier, seeing that Davis doesn't have much content, it made me realize. Now, I already knew this, but it made me realize even more the work that Alex has done in the past 4 years to make Davis, like, present Davis in a beautiful way. Alex Fisher Wagner, I don't know if you guys know too much about Alex, but Alex is a year older than me, and when I was coming into college, um, I didn't, I don't do that thing where, or I didn't do that thing where I look for content to learn more about the school. I just I didn't, I'm not one of those people, which is funny because the content I make is for those, like the people that consume it is those people. It's the people that want to learn about the school, and so before they come to it, they look for it. But I'm not one of those people. Like I don't really care. I don't know if it's that I don't. No, it's that I don't care. I just know I'm gonna go in and it's gonna be whatever. So I didn't really bother to learn that much. But the summer before I started college, there was this opportunity I think I saw on Facebook, and it was. I'll tell this story one day on this podcast, but I can tell you the beginnings of it. The summer before I started college, there was this ad, I guess you call it, on the class Facebook page for my class. And it was, oh, we're looking for vloggers to give like a good perspective of Davis. And at this point I had made, I think, like a handful of YouTube videos. And so I was like, oh, this is great. It was actually my mom that was like, you should do it. Like you're doing vlogging, right? So it wouldn't hurt, meet some more people. I was like, yeah, sure. So I like signed up for it, and it was under CSI, which isn't the crime investigative unit or whatever the fuck that is. It stands for Center for Student Involvement, and they're like headquarters, we'll call it. They're like where the Center for Student Involvement is centered is on the fourth floor of the Memorial Union. And they had started this thing called the Involvement Vloggers. And so the student, the email went out to everyone interested, and I saw there was a list of like, I think at the time, there were like 5 students, and it was established that this guy named Alex Fisher Wagner was going to be kind of like in, like leading it. And from just checking out everyone, because you see the names on the email and then you immediately look them up because you're like, I wonder who these people are. Do they have YouTube channels too? You start looking them up, and then I realized, oh, who Alex was. That's how he had come onto my radar. I didn't. It wasn't because I was like looking for school information. It was, I want to see who I'm gonna get to be able to make cool stuff with. And so I saw Alex, was pretty much the only one vlogging his college experience at UC Davis. I started exploring like, who else is doing what he's doing. And there was Abrion. Abrion was doing it too. And at the time, I think Samantha was doing it. She's Abrion's friend. She was doing it too, but I think she had just transferred to USC. And so there were only in college Alex, Abrion, and then also Steph. Steph Into My World is her YouTube channel. I don't think she's been too active for a few years now, but those were the three people doing it. But Alex was prolific. The dude was putting out so much content. You couldn't even consume it fast enough. And now he's transitioned into more of a cinematic, um, like vibe. Like he has a series called Seasonal Cinematics where he'll go on a trip. He'll make this beautiful video, um, like really highlighting wherever he visited. Like he made a Tahoe one. I think he made a Hawaii one, right? He made an Alaska one. And he's just making this beautiful content and he showed back when he was like vlogging a lot, this raw student perspective. And there's really, when I was looking for content to include in my movie trailer, I realized even more, like I knew it, but I realized even more, there's really no one doing it out there like Alex. Like now he's not a student. He dropped out 2 years ago, I think, now. Yeah, actually, I think in like a month, it'll be like a 2 year anniversary of when he dropped out of Davis. And fuck, wow, time flies, holy shit. And I still remember that day he told me. It's funny, I just finished recording this video with Tia. And I remember Tia and I recorded that, and we went down because he and Tia were going to record a collab. And he just was like, "Okay, by the ways, I'm dropping out. I'm doing the paperwork like this week, and then hopefully next week, it gets approved, and I'm done." I was like, "Okay, that was great." I knew he was wanting to do it, so I was only happy for him because it was he was doing the right thing, and he's been successful since. In my eyes, he's been incredibly successful because he's doing what he loves, and I feel like that's all you could ever really ask for, I feel like. But I was texting Alex because after I posted the movie trailer video, I texted him. I said, "So I borrowed a bunch of your YouTube videos to make a movie trailer," and they responded. He said, "Haha, what does that mean?" I realized, yeah, I didn't really give much context, so I just sent him the video, and then he sent me a picture of watching it on his TV. And I told him, I was like, making this video made me realize, like, you are the main source of, like, good looking Davis content. And I feel like Davis doesn't know what they have, Because right now he works for the housing. My bad. He works for the housing at UC Davis. I feel like they don't know how much of a monster they got right now. And I don't know. I don't know. I think he'll be appreciated. Like right now, we are reaping the rewards of Alex. Like he makes these videos every year around decision time and like when school started, and when something is there, you don't know how to appreciate it. It's only when it's gone that you truly appreciate it. And coming full circle, are able to gain the perspective. And you need perspective to appreciate stuff. And nothing gives you more perspective than not having something anymore. So Davis got to give him his roses while he's still here, man. Dude's doing a stand-up job. But yeah, if you were wondering, that's why I made that movie trailer. So I hope that Hope that answered some of your question. No one cares. But if you do, there you go. Yeah. See, that's the one thing I knew I was gonna talk about. Just the that video and Alex. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can wrap it up then. No, I still have like 10 minutes left. But the response on that movie trailer has been great. I just want to say thanks. Thanks for that. Um, and it's funny. It's these next couple few videos, like they're not all just like I don't want to. This goes into what I was saying last week. I don't want to say what they mean. I don't want to assign meaning to them because then it will stunt where your imagination takes it. But I felt like they aren't dark, but I know they came from a person that was in a dark place. I no, I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm giving too much meaning to what they are. They're very innocent. That's the thing. I probably just am overthinking things too. That's another thing I realize. A lot of times, because my content isn't just you know getting the rocks off of my school. It's giving my genuine opinion of it, and but through jokes. And so sometimes I feel like like when people give gum surgery, and if you cut the gums too close, then the tooth gets hurt. And sometimes I feel like when you make jokes about stuff, sometimes you cut too much gum off, and then you hurt the tooth. And I just don't want to hurt any teeth, you know? And so sometimes I feel like when I think about some of the things I say too long, I start morphing them into these evil gum killers. And I'm like, it's not even a big deal. I'm just making it seem like a big deal. The thing is, this next video I recorded 4 months ago. So I've just been thinking about it for 4 months, and I've been assigning it like certain jokes. I'm like, oh, someone could take it this way. Someone could take it this way. Like, oh, maybe this is offensive. The video was like 19 minutes. I've already cut it down to 16 minutes. I just took 3 minutes of like jokes out because I was like, oh, that could be misconstrued, and people might be like, God. So I guess making the movie trailer was a way of like applying a band-aid before I got cut, like usually it's the stupidest thing. It's like, yeah, it's like applying a band-aid before you get cut. It's like you kind of did it in wrong order there. So I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, I realized I'm a I feel so stupid whenever I say this, but like I'm an introvert because the joke is like, oh, introverts always have to tell everyone they're introverts, which is ironic because introverts don't like talking to people. So how are they always telling people they're introverts? But I'm like very introverted. Like I'm very cool just being alone. That's why I come to Davis, so I can just be alone. I can go on these like walks for 2 to 3 hours and just be alone. But I realized, how valuable it is to be human. And to be human, um, I feel like, part of the full human experience is interacting with other humans. And I did this week, and it gave me a lot of perspective. And I'm grateful for that. And I think it was very important that I got that. So that's great. And you start thinking of so many other video ideas too. I forgot how like human interaction is such a catalyst to like inspiration and stuff. I don't know. I find that crazy that I didn't have a single thing to write down this week for this podcast. I think it was because I had everything I wanted to like touch on this week was it was put into that movie trailer, and when the movie trailer went out, it kind of that was it. Like that was me basically speaking my mind. Also, you know what's I forgot to say this. The movie trailer, I was like, oh, I just want to make something that's good energy. And of course, I still went back to my natural ways. The movie trailer was still like a little ominous and a little evil. In my eyes, if you want to hear my perspective on the movie trailer, to me it was like evil. Like it I'm sure it came across fine, but I thought it was incredibly like dark and evil. And I was like, God damn it. I realized after because I was playing around with a bunch of clips and putting them in different orders and then recording certain voiceovers and stuff. And I realized when I got to the story I wanted, I was like, oh, what the fuck? This, this is evil too. I was like, I always resort back to the darkest thing. God damn it. So I don't know if it came through, but when I watched that trailer, to me, it's a very dark trailer. And maybe that's just because of all those experiences are like close to me. But I hope it came up. It looks like it came up as just like a nice reflection of college, but maybe it's because of my perception of college that I view it as dark. But I guess I'm. See, that's the thing. I think it was received in a way that I didn't even realize it could be. And so these next videos that I'm like thinking about so much, it's probably not even a big deal, but I've just blown it out of proportion in my head, and I think it's a big deal because everything in your own life is a big deal to you because it's your life. Um, so yeah, that video wasn't even supposed to be like that. Like, I don't want to explain too much about the movie trailer because that's another one of those things where like it has a. I think that's a perfect example. It has a meaning of its own for whoever. Like you might think, oh, this is just like just representing Davis in the best way, whereas when I watch it, it's a very dark story in my head when I watch it, and I don't want to explain what that dark story is because then that will take away from what you think it is. I don't want to do that. I think part of the beauty and stuff like that is that it has different meanings. So I guess this was just the extension of last week's episode. This is the DLC to last week's episode. And also what happens when I don't write shit down. This. I think this was I don't know how this went. Maybe this was more free flowy. Maybe this was like a toga. Maybe it was more free flowing. I don't know. But this is what happens when I just talk off the top of my head. Of course, sometimes I like stop myself from saying things, but I think this was maybe one of the closer times to me just, speaking how I think. So that's cool, right? I'm getting more comfortable on the podcast because that's what you want, the real raw perspective. So I hope I can provide that. I hope I can be like a sushi chef. Those are hard two words. Sushi chef. Sushi chef. I'm like a sushi chef, trying to give it to you raw, you know? Oh, I can't talk. Like I got the worst. I feel like I don't say words right. I don't know why I said that. Oh, you know what? The episode's about to end, but can I tell you this? I was just thinking about this because I filled up water before this. I recorded this. I realized I'm not like really big into iced water anymore. Like I'm just into cold water, but that's not like chilling cold, which is weird because I love just ice cold stuff. Like, I don't drink coffee, but like anytime I do, it has to be a frappuccino. Cause like I can only, even if it's like winter, I can only drink cold stuff. Like I do like hot chocolate, but like I will 99% of the time prefer just an ice cold drink. But I filled water and I was like, I don't want ice. I think I'm just reaching a more zen part of my life. No. But it made me realize, oh, you know what? To me, iced water is like an energy drink. Like it gets me really hype. Like when I play video games, if I got iced water, oh, if it's PvP and I'm against you, you better hope I don't reach for that iced water because I'm gonna be amped out of my goddamn mind. But yeah, I realized that. I feel like to me, iced water is an energy drink. So, trying to sober up. I'm drinking more room temp, cool water. Cool water to keep it cool. Anyways, I think that's my time. Thank you so much for listening. Uh, it means a lot that you guys listen as always. And I'll see you next week, or I'll talk at you next week. Yep, that's it. People are amazing, and the world sucks, but it doesn't really. See you next week. Bye.